How many times have I wished I could take those negative thoughts out of my head, those thoughts projecting a future that may not actually happen? This doesn't mean that we don't prepare for the worst, but do we want to live in that state or space where it virtually eliminates being in the present, our present? How can we enjoy anything if we are always thinking about what might be? Conversely, thinking about what might be from a positive standpoint might actually be soothing, and yet again, it takes us out of the present, which is the only place that can drive our actions, as it is all we actually know. I remember sitting on my bathroom floor as a high schooler in hysterics, breaking up with my then boyfriend and suffering because I couldn't face hurting him. And the idea of loss was just overwhelming due to the early losses that I had experienced in my own family. How I would have benefited from the comfort of knowing that others suffer too. And perhaps if I had had our featured organizations app, I would have certainly managed better, or at least been in the great company of others who had experienced loss. My reaction may have been over-exaggerated, over the top, as my mother would have said, but it was because I had experienced early losses. What I didn't know then and know now is that often a previous loss can be triggered by a current loss, although the two seem completely disconnected. That would have perhaps allowed me to grieve my relationship without feeling crazy. Mental health is an incredibly complicated topic. So many of us have had experiences either personally or with our children. No one wants to see their children in pain, and emotional pain is often frightening, because it's hard to find the source of the pain as compared to physical pain. An emotional or psychological injury is often invisible. We understand when someone is in physical pain, but we often blame the individual for being in emotional pain. Raising children is tough, all that goes into daily schedules, etc. Now let's complicate the typical with a complex world. Access to more information that can have negative impacts, biological changes, and we can have tweens and teens in pain without the benefit of always knowing how to manage it or letting them know that they are not alone, as so many others go through similar anguish. Why isn't that taught in schools? It's incredibly important and valuable. Welcome to Small and Gutsy, our podcast featuring nonprofits and social enterprises under $10 million. My name is Dr. Laura Shirk-Witkoff, and I'm excited and proud to be your host. We hope you'll love the stories as much as we do, and perhaps you will find needed services, a job, volunteer, invest in, or donate. Small and Gutsy is not just a podcast, but a 501c3 nonprofit. And we've just been named number 8 on FeedSpot's top 30 social impact podcasts. We are truly proud. Our vision is to spotlight every smaller nonprofit and social enterprise to raise their visibility. So please help me with our vision and send me any organization you like featured to laura@smallandgutsy.org. This is a particularly touching podcast for me because I have known one of my guests for many years. Our children went to elementary school together, and she actually championed several of my children in times of their emotional needs. So I have the benefit of knowing what this guest is capable of doing, moving mountains when others are stuck. She's an amazing artist in her own right and has an open heart to help others with a practicality that you will soon find out is what can be preemptive for those who are in pain. Mood, and I just love that name. It's brilliant because we all have moods and need to embrace them without getting swallowed by the sad and anxious feelings. Being able to navigate moods by acknowledging them and then actively doing something to manage them effectively is a goal that elevates this nonprofit. Mood's goal is to put free, fast, and effective mental health tools into the hands of every tween and teen ages 9 to 17, and for the adults, teachers, and providers in their world, enabling them to build skills and resilience through fun and engaging content. Where were you when I was a teen? And even as a young adult and parent, and that's the beauty of this creation. Their website is fun, and their mood tools are practical coping skills that are easy to understand and use. The mood tools are proven strategies designed to help tweens and teens bring their feelings into manageable, bite-sized mood moments rather than gigantic, scary floods of emotion that feel never-ending. I am also incredibly impressed that Mood has an advisory board filled with tweens and teens who bring innovative, creative ideas that are inviting to their cohort. I am so excited to introduce my two guests today, Jane Hoffman, founder of Mood, Jane's inspiration for creating Mood comes from her personal journey supporting her teenagers through their mental health challenges. During this time, Jane encountered powerful emotional regulation tools that played a crucial role in helping her children and family cope and heal. Through Mood, Jane is bringing these invaluable tools to a broader audience of adolescents, empowering them to navigate and manage difficult emotions. In addition to leading Mood, Jane is a visual artist who has been working under the name Jane Maxwell Studio for more than 25 years. And my other guest is Daisy Glassman, Mood Ambassador, a senior at New West Charter School in West LA. She tutors under-resourced kids through Learn to Be and even has her own nail business, Daisy Blue Nails. I'll have to check that out. She is also the secretary of the National Honor Society at her high school and co-president of the Film Club. Welcome, Jane and Daisy. Clearly, you both have a passion and a reason for raising this topic, and Jane, for you as the founder. So I'm gonna start with you, but I also have to say, I think your website is amazing. Your app is just fantastic. You have all these different avenues for people to access in this creative, fun, and engaging way. And I meant to put it in my intro, and I can't believe I forgot it as I'm going through it. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot this. The negative thinking, I forget what you call it, but I just love it.
Oh, the stinking thinking.
Oh my God, I was like, literally became my mantra. Okay, say it, Jane. The stinking thinking.
Okay, well, first let me start by saying, Laura, it's so amazing to be here. I love what you've done. Congratulations on that latest ranking. How fabulous.
Thank you.
You've always been really interested in social impact, and it's just incredible what you've done. I'm so honored when you called me to be on. This is our first interview about Mood, and I just am so excited to be here. So Mood and the Mood Tools app, which was just launched, was a free download on Android and iOS, is chock full of 50 plus practical, easy tools that are emotional regulation tools that have been proven. They're fast, they're free, and they're effective. And there's all sorts of different tools. One is for negative thinking. So if you're constantly thinking negative thoughts about yourself or your past or your future, we call it no stinking thinking. It's kind of a 3-part tool. You recognize that you're thinking negative thoughts, then you pause to think about it and you contradict yourself. Like, maybe I'm nervous for my test, but if I study, I'm going to be okay. And then you turn it around with a positive thought. So it is one of our favorite tools.
I love that.
There's just so many other tools that are used for everyday kids. So what we have found is that it is chronic, enduring, sustained pressures that kids are under when they start in middle school and even before. That it's that sustained chronic pain, little pains that eventually lead to larger mental health issues. And according to the CDC, it's 1 in 5 teenagers, 13 to 18, have experienced or are experience a pretty significant mental health issue. And 1 in 5, 3 to 17, have been diagnosed with some sort of anxiety disorder. So things have gone crazy in terms of anxiety, pressures, loneliness, sadness in the world for kids. And our goal is to provide Mood tools, again, these free, easy, bite-sized, entertaining tools that can all be done in a minute or two to help kids downstream who are having everyday issues. So we're not waiting until a kid is diagnosed as depressed or anxious or other. What we're doing is saying everyday life has pressures. You don't get it. You get hurt by the boyfriend, as you said. You don't get invited to the party. Look at social media and everyone looks fabulous and you have acne. Like, whatever it is, these little moments when we were kids, they just were like part of you and that was it. You just like suck it up. But today it's different. We really want to try to give the kids the tools to regulate their emotions. Because as we know, when we feel sad, angry, lonely, our emotions are all over the place. And we have moods and we don't know even what to do with them. So Mood is here to give tools that are really practical and that kids can turn to. And one of the things that we've done is create the Mood Tools app, which again is a free app. And on it, you are able to scroll. And when you first get on, it goes right into tools. And you can basically download a tool for your mood, for how your body feels. Because sometimes you don't know what your mood is, but you know that you're sweating. You know that your stomach hurts. You know that you feel nauseous. Sometimes people's head is buzzing. So if you can tune into something in your body, you can choose a tool that way, or for what we call an icky situation. So if you're having fun family drama, or you're going into a crowd and you're nervous about it, trying something new. So we have tools tailored for each of these moments.
Love it.
And if you don't know any of those things, you don't really know how you feel, you can't really tap into your body, we have just a randomizer where you can just find me a tool, press on it, don't like those, press, and you get 2 more tools. And the tools are organized in all sorts of ways regarding moods and situations. And we're finding people are so excited about them.
Oh my God. You present it in such a beautiful way. And also what I love about it is, in the field, again, that can be so highbrow in a way that's not accessible and useful. And so you've really created a way that is not only accessible, but uses terms that everyone can relate to. It's not outside of what is a natural feeling. But as you said before, something so clearly insightful, because we've all felt it, is our emotions have a life of their own. And when we don't sort of stop, take a look at it, and have a way to manage it, I love the breathing box because it teaches you, okay, up, down, this way. And it's like a dance. And so I do a lot of practice in deep breathing. I do it with my classes when I teach. And I actually think I'm going to give them the visual of the box. And I'm going to send them, even though they're older, they're grad students. I think anyone can use what you're created.
Give them the Mood Tools app, I'm telling you.
No question. Because I think they can either follow along or not, or use it, because most of them really like doing breathing and sort of kind of changing from where they are in the world at that moment to come into class. And so you're really separating out. And you're doing that in the moment for these kids who don't have access except to the craziness of the world. I'm sure COVID did not help for so many.
No.
And to normalize it in a way that everybody can go through this at one point and another. And I love the practicality and the preemptive nature of what you've created. It doesn't mean it's going to make sure someone doesn't have a mental health issue down the road, but building that resilience allows someone to be prepared for whatever comes in front of them.
That's exactly right. Resilience is so huge. And if they can have these tools in their back pocket and just know, because there's over 50 of them, so it's not like you can recall all of them, so they just can go onto the app. But I'm really glad that you brought up the everyday terms. So the other thing about the mood tools is that they're science behind them. So how it all came to be, my story is that I had kids that were really struggling, as so many of us do. And they were lucky enough to receive excellent help. And we learned about these skills that are created for kids that are in a more acute state. Dialectical behavioral therapy, DBT, or CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. These amazing modalities created by these very smart, accomplished psychiatrists. And they're incredible, and they have saved lives. And they're chock full of scientific clinical titles. Lots of acronyms and lots of, like I said, they have this clinical base. And it was our goal at Mood to use the science of those tools, but to transcend them and transform them into being easy and fun and applicable and practical and quick. Because kids aren't going to respond to acronyms, and they're not going to respond to clinical terms. One of our brand pillars is to meet kids where they are. We don't want to lecture them. We don't want to lecture. We don't want to make it formal and hard and like they're with a therapist. It's not like that. If they can see a therapist, great. For in between those times. So it was very important to us that they're science-based, which they are, but they've been distilled into something that are these bite-sized practical tools.
That can be used in, as you pointed out, in different scenarios, and that can be reused, and that can be often habit forming, where you say, okay, every night before I go to bed, which is what I do, by the way, is I do a lot of deep breathing. And so translating that to someone at any age is so useful. So I also love that parents, providers, other adults can have access to this to acquire it for themselves, because I think at times things can feel unreachable, or that you're supposed to feel better immediately. And it really is a practice. And so when you see other kids doing it, or honestly, and we'll turn it to Daisy in a minute, but I love that you took your experience, Jane, that was so challenging because I certainly have had my own. And you saw the beauty and the depth and the gift that your kids were given and thought, how do I spread this in a way that's going to be accessible? And so my guess is when kids see something kind of bright, cheerful, fun, funny, engaging, they can even sort of talk that language to each other, which is kind of the creation of the ambassadors. And they have input in what's going to work for their cohort, because we can't assume what worked for me as a teen isn't going to work for kids today as teens. So I love that you added that depth.
So it was a key part of our mission that we couldn't work outside of in our bubble. You know, I'm a 60-year-old woman and I don't have teenagers anymore.
Yeah.
So it was incredibly important that we found really honest teens like Daisy, as you'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember meeting with her and saying, I need all your feedback. Like, don't hold back.
Mm-hmm.
We need everything to make this just right. And we have really adopted a by kids, for kids strategy.
Love it.
So everything we do runs through Daisy and our teen ambassadors. We have close to 30 of them at this point.
Amazing.
And they have shared their stories and they're on our social media channels at The Mood Tools on TikTok and Insta.
Uh-huh.
And if you haven't followed us, please do, because these kids get on and kind of talk about the day they're having, and they'll show us a tool right there and teach it. And I think it's been really effective. So Daisy can speak a bit more to this, but she has been just invaluable in being our partner.
I love this so much. You know, when we think of where do we go for advice, we may go to an expert, so you already have an evidence base, but we often go to our friends. What did you do about this? Who did you go to? Daisy, I would imagine that happens in your friend group or did. So share a bit of your story, how you got involved, what makes you stay involved. And you have a really, as Jane said, a pivotal role in mood and in the adaptability within your cohort and beyond. So I'd love to hear about that.
So I'd love to just start off by saying my role is part of one big beating heart. I think that I play a small part in just an entire livelihood that is helping so many people. So when I think of playing a pivotal role, I don't think of it as work I'm even doing. I think of it as almost like a part of me, a necessity. So the way that I got into mood, I myself have always struggled with mental health. Actually, the reason that I find mood so important is I underwent DBT therapy myself. When I was a kid, I was deeply, deeply lost and in need of a lot of help. And what I will say about DBT is that although it's incredibly intelligent and smart and forward, it is really hard to digest. It's really hard to understand and access that in your day-to-day. So when I was going through DBT, I was sort of developing these tools for myself, making them easy and digestible and doable. And Jane and my mom, Jane is just the most lovely human ever. I immediately was drawn to her as soon as I heard about her mission. But they were working together, and my mom and Jane ended up talking, and Jane reached out and said that she needed a teen ambassador, and I jumped at the chance. I was like, oh my God, what a dream come true.
Love that.
And I'm also on the up and coming for college. I had a lot going on in my high school life during the time where I was like, this is not something only they need. This is something I need too. And that's the reason that this is so touching to me, is because it's something that I apply in my day to day. It's something for me. And the fact that I can be of aid in something that I am actively using is just the most incredible aspect of all of this. So I got started helping Jane out. It started with just a few meetings, but my role at Mood is sort of like a three-prong thing. I don't know how to describe it, but one, I help with content, and I both produce and am in the content. So that's coming up with ideas and sort of forming what we think will reach more kids, what we think will be most effective. And I'm also the teen spokesperson, which is really great because I can clearly talk a lot.
Great. No, you're doing great.
She's the best.
I've had the opportunity to go to New York and interview a bunch of people for mood and on mental health, and especially in the social media world, which I think is incredibly important because I've fallen victim to social media and the comparison and the sadness and aching and utter lack that comes with it. And I think to have such a safe space in a world that is so dense and negative and crazy and all over the place, to have a space where kids who are struggling can both find sanction and be sanction and like be that sanctuary that other kids need. I think it's just absolutely incredible. And Mood's message speaks to me in every way imaginable. And another thing that's like really important is I see myself using these tools well into my 80s. I can see myself using these tools for the rest of my life.
I love it. So great. I love it. I want to just say one thing. Thank you, Daisy. It's just so beautiful. And what comes so clear to me, and we've never met before other than on this podcast, and this is what I think speaks to the people who jump onto Mood and want to be an ambassador and want to adopt it and have it in their lives, is there's so many things that are dishonest out there and take advantage of and are undermining. And what comes through you is this genuineness. I could trust you without even knowing you. And there's something truly beautiful about that because you're creating, as you said, a safe space for kids your age, but also for adults. Because I'm looking at you, learning from you, thinking, I always feel like I learn from my kids, like I always have, because they were sort of my guiding for a lot of their early years as they developed. Because they went through some rocky roads. And so you learn, you pay attention, you listen, whatever it is. And I feel like you did that for yourself, you know, with your mom, your parents, whatever. And now you're doing it for others because you give off this sense of being truly genuine and trustworthy. And my guess is all of the other ambassadors that you all have chosen have that same framework, because my hope is that you all are sick and tired of the BS that's out there. And you want to grab onto something that's real and something that is useful and something that will allow you to fill your potential as you have the right to do. And that's what comes through in how you talk about this.
Laura, you're just nailing all the language.
Beautiful.
It goes back to, we don't want it clinical.
Yeah.
We don't want anybody talking down to kids. They're smarter than we are.
100%.
And, you know, like exactly. I learn from my kids still every day. And we have to have an open heart to be open to what's happening out there and to really listen to the kids and learn from them.
Yeah.
But the other thing that's been so incredible is the bravery of our ambassadors.
Yes. Thank you for saying that.
They're so brave. I mean, even including Daisy just saying what she said and being so vulnerable. We've had kids in tears and we've had kids talking about really tough moments. And it's just so incredible to watch these kids being real, authentic, raw, and just being their most vulnerable selves. And there's really no better gift than we can give someone who's listening and who's watching. It's a window into that vulnerability.
Totally agree.
Yeah, so that's been really a wonderful thing I've just been blown away, really, with the ambassadors and what they're willing to share.
Yeah. And you've created this platform, Jane, that allows that to happen because, as I said in my intro, you have an open heart with a practicality. You have that great combination that a lot of people don't have. They just don't innately have or have worked to get that. And I think, and this is my guess, Daisy, but I think when people see you or the other ambassadors, because you're vulnerable, they feel they can be too, whether they're out there on the screen or just taking it in and doing it for themselves. You've created that pathway for them and that understanding that they will be accepted too. And that's sometimes all it takes for someone to feel okay. Because most of the time we go through these ups and downs. And I think there's such a myth in life and our journey is we think we're supposed to be happy all the time. And that's just not realistic. So when it takes a little downturn, what can we do to just level it and recognize that we're not going to get swallowed by it, but that we can really manage it when given the time and space and acceptance to be able to do that. And you've created the platform and the individuals to help draw people in. And it's really kudos to Jane for developing the platform with your board and advisors and being evidence-based, and Daisy, you and your myriad of ambassadors who contribute. And I just love that you jumped in and said, I need this and I want to have it till I'm 80. I love that.
We all do. It's so funny because one of the things at Mood that's really important is focus.
Mm-hmm.
We're staying in our lane. Our lane is tools.
Yeah.
We're going to give many tools as we possibly can. We're adding them to the app all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We are building them out so that kids will have endless tools to keep referring back to.
I love it.
And it's created in a way that the parents, teachers, doctors can also use this every day. If I had had this app, I was a mom and my kid was melting down because they had homework the next day.
Yeah.
And I could say, let's together do hand breathing.
Love it.
So hand breathing, I would say, put your hand up and spread your fingers apart.
Mm-hmm.
And as you breathe in, go up your pinky and then breathe down and go down the inside of your finger and keep going slowly, breathing around each finger until you finish. And then do it again. And it gives such a visual for a kid to be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they say, I'm not doing that right now, it's going to register in maybe later when they're on their own, they will do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, another tool that is one of our favorites is we call it chill out with ice. And if you're just having an overheated moment, you're angry, you're stressed, if you take an ice cube, a bag of cubes, and you put it on your wrist, you put it on the back of your neck. If you take an ice cube and put it on the roof of your mouth, it slows your heart rate down. It's proven.
Yeah.
And
I love
just
it.
bring everything down. If you take a cold water and stick your face in it, like that's our chill out with ice. And it's quick, it's practical, and it's a mood tool that actually can affect your mood. So we're really, really focused on just offering these tools to kids every day.
It's great. And what works for one may not work for another. And that's why you have the variety. So I love that. I'm actually going to try the ice one.
Yeah, ice is good.
And I looked at the box one. I looked at different ones that you have. I love that. I think it's really fun.
I know we would definitely wanted to share our favorites with you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, do. Definitely do. But before you do that, I'd love to hear the process of creating a new tool. What's the process of doing that? And then let's talk about some of your favorites. I love this.
I think it's a great idea. So I will say that we're not reinventing any wheel. We're not creating these from scratch. We are looking at evidence-based tools.
Yeah.
So in DBT language, it's called opposite action. And in our language, we've changed it to do the opposite. So essentially the tool is this. And it seems like it's really hard and it seems like it's not going to work, but it does. So if you're really, really angry and you want to slam your door so hard, if you turn your back against the door and just breathe against the door instead of slamming it, if you do the exact opposite, it can help relax you. If you want to scream at somebody and tell them how pissed off you are, if you actually just take a pillow and kind of scream into the pillow instead of at that person, it just helps. So what we've done is we've taken tools that are from the experts and they're coming out all the time. And there's a lot on the internet too. The internet's phenomenal. There's a lot of anxiety experts, a lot of psychiatrists who are talking about tools. And we kind of take them and repackage them and create them that way. And a lot of times too, remember with Daisy and a few of her friends, they're like, oh, this is what I do.
Oh, great.
And so as we talk to people, we have anecdotes of, oh, well, you forgot this. Someone told me, if I can just make a list of 4 small things that are going to make me feel better, brushing my teeth, a list of 4, or the simple thing. So we're learning new tools all the time and they're out there all the time.
I love this because then you're taking what's existing and then you're working with the ambassadors to say what works for you or how would you think about packaging this and what would feel good to you. Like you're asking them for their input and their creativity. Is that
yes,
part
we're
of
like,
it?
what
Okay.
would you think?
Yeah,
Would you
great.
do this in your room? Would you do this one with your friends? Is this something you would do in a group? How about if you're sitting at a table in school? Like we have, a little fidget, make your own fidget. And
I love
so
it.
if you have, and you've made something or you've put a scrunchie on your wrist, is that something you're comfortable doing under your desk? So we're trying to figure out all the different places that kids are feeling dysregulated. And some of the tools you can do, and they're kind of embarrassing, like we have bee breathing, when a person's like, and you're not going to do that in the middle of school.
Right.
Oh, but I do. Jane, trust me, I look like a crazy person in the middle of class.
Love it.
I get stressed and I start hand sliding and I have people around. What is going on? And if I could chime in really quickly, I also think the great thing about these reinvented and proven tools is that teens are really able to develop them for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that this open platform provides the opportunity for teens to interpret the tools the way that they want to. So sometimes if the tool doesn't fit right with you or it's not working in the way you want it to, you change it and
Mm-hmm.
it's personalized and it's yours. And the
Mm-hmm.
fact that it's something that you are in control
Yeah.
of and
Yeah.
that you are making the decision to do and that you are helping and healing yourself. When you create that individual tool and you take something that's been handed to you so beautifully, it is just such a relieving feeling. So yeah, that open-ended creation of tools is definitely something I've seen with my friends and my community and kids who reach out through the comments of our social media. And
Yeah,
yeah,
and they probably add to that too, right? The comments they might add.
It's interesting because I'm the one deciphering these tools, and yet I'll look and I'm like, I totally forgot about that one. I'm going to use that. One of my
Mm-hmm.
favorite is called Zoom Out. And so if you're having and this happens to me a lot. So I have an issue and I am perseverating over it and I just
Mm-hmm.
can't get over it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the problem is, it just takes over my mind. And Zoom Out is essentially you say to yourself, how am I going to be feeling about this problem in 3 days?
Uh-huh. I love that one.
How am I going to be feeling about it in 3 weeks?
Uh-huh.
What about 3 months from now?
Mm-hmm.
And it just suddenly you're like, there's no way I'm going to be thinking about this in 3 months. I know that. So it just gives some cognitive reframing is what they would say in the CT world.
Yeah.
And we're saying it just gives some perspective changing. So the tools are, I just can't say enough about them. I could sit here and demonstrate all the mood tools because I love them.
I think they're amazing. And I love the fact that someone can personalize it and adapt it and then maybe share it in a comment or otherwise. And then someone else might say, oh, I like that idea. I want to try something else. I mean, it's like an iterative process, which I'm a full-on believer in because I think you only get better by trying things out and adapting them and figuring out what's going to work for me. And everybody's sort of different in that context, but having a baseline is amazing. Okay, so share some more of your favorites because there's some that I think I can learn, which I just think is so fun and great.
my absolute favorite is 478 breathing.
I love that.
This tool has helped me through what I might add are some of my most restless nights, what are some of my most anxious moments, and when my world feels like it's coming to a crumble and everything is going on around me. And
Mm-hmm.
this tool has definitely helped me through a lot. So 478 breathing is a breathing pattern that is you inhale for 4, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. And I find myself practicing this tool anytime that I am utterly discombobulated, is the word I would use.
Mm-hmm.
When I struggle to sleep, this is the one thing that I can guarantee will put me to bed. And I swear by that completely. This will knock me out when I need it to. And I have the most anxiety before I go to sleep when I'm recounting my entire day and reliving everything
Mm-hmm.
and thinking of all the things that I missed and everything's buzzing through my head. This tool definitely carries me through it. And it's something you can do quietly and to yourself and in class and around so many people. Sometimes if I'm at a dinner and I'm like, oh my God, I want to get out. The music's too loud, whatever. I start to do this tool and it has just guided me in ways that are unimaginable and is so easy.
I love it.
It's like a pal I carry in my back pocket. And I sound like I'm 75 using the word pal. But it's like a friend I carry in my back pocket.
It's your secret. It's like your secret pal, but that
Yeah.
you're sharing with anyone who wants to listen because it can benefit them too, which I love.
You're the best.
It takes my friends out of panic attacks as well,
Right.
because when they confide in me, I'm like, okay, inhale for 4, hold for 7, breathe out for 8. It's just like a companion.
You know what I love? So the Mood Tools app, if you love breathing tools, we
Mm-hmm.
have tools by breathing. So we have them by categories. We have action. If you're a person that likes to just be a doer and do things,
Mhm.
or you feel like it in the moment, you can go right there and say, okay, I want something with action. I want something using my senses. So we've categorized them in a bunch of different ways. So you can get to the tools by your mood or by if you know you love breathing tools, but you want 3 more just like them.
Mm-hmm.
And as we grow and learn, we're going to see even more what kids want and how they want to search for the tools. And as we keep adding, we're going to add categories as well. One that just came to mind is we need to create a category that's tools for before bed.
Perfect. I love that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Oh my
That's
God.
going to be next, Daisy. That'll be up and running soon. I just wrote it down. It's like so important.
Because that's when mood tools really kick in for me. It's the time I have to truly ground myself. And sometimes it's hard to think back to those things when you're in the moment. But when you're in that particular state, it's really easy to think, like, what can I do to settle right now?
Yeah.
So what I love about this experience on Small and Gutsy, I have to say this is, even though you use evidence-based, they all exist out there, but the fact that you have categorized them and accessed them from different points, and the fact that you could just listen to Daisy and say, oh, we got a new category here. So that's iterative. Right there is like, here's another path. I have your app and I love it. I think it's great. And I know it's for tweens and teens, and that's your target, and it should be. But for all of us who have ever had a tween or teen or haven't and have been a tween or teen ourselves, I think it's so incredibly useful. So now I have a question for you, and I still want to hear some of your favorites. So talk to me a little bit about, because I love that you have action ones too. I would imagine that there are more young girls and women who use this than young men. And yet I think young men would benefit greatly from this, because as a society, we have not encouraged their vulnerability. And so I'm just wondering if you've seen any trends or thoughts. And I know you have ambassadors who are young guys, because I've seen it on your website, and I was really impressed and proud. And I actually am on your Instagram and saw a few videos by young men, and I was just really moved, because I thought, oh man, you've hit the lottery here, because that's the way our society should be going, the direction of vulnerability. But I'd love for you to speak to that.
So I think that there's a lot of discussion. I think girls are a lot more open about how they feel. So we all think that girls are more anxious or girls have more mental health issues, when obviously it's not true. It's 100% not true.
Right.
It's just that boys aren't used to talking about their feelings, and they're not out there as much. They don't talk to their friends as much. So one of our missions was to get boys of different ages, different ethnicities, different backgrounds. And I thought it was going to be hard, but it wasn't. They are ready. They are ready to talk.
That's great.
And we let them, obviously, we talked about which tool they want. And so some of the boys, yes, they want to do like basketball or whatever it is that their tool is.
Or like sour candy and stuff like that. Just,
Yeah, they love the sour candy tool.
Sour candy? All right, you have to tell me what that one is.
Yeah, sour candy, if you're feeling really stressed and you have sour candy, it kind of wires your brain to like think about something else. It has your mind go in a different direction.
Love it.
And so it's a tool. So anyway, we're really proud of the fact that we have these boys on, and we hope that they are really spreading the word. And we have boy followers, and we're really working on it. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, I think you're doing society a service. I'm going to say that in the broadest sense, because we criticize boys for being vulnerable, and yet it's exactly what we need, because vulnerability allows for genuine honesty, connection, and better health in general. And so the fact that you're doing a service for the larger community by bringing boys into the conversation and attracting them to this, and I'm glad to know that, and I was happy to see it. It's really remarkable.
Yeah, so we'll see. It's a challenge, and we're going to keep tackling it in different ways. And the ambassadors come in. We said, how can we get more boys? What do you think will appeal to them? And again, the ambassadors are like, use this music, have this graphic. Right? Daisy, like down to the font. She's like, use this font and it will all.
it's been that way quite a few times.
That's so funny.
It's unbelievable.
So how does that come about? So do you talk to some friends and say, what do you think of this font? Or do you just know by just in your friend group?
What's trending?
I would say it's just a Gen Z thing, and to sound so utterly cringy right now, obviously, but I would say that having a teen's perspective on how to target teens on social media is really important, because you can, and I mean this in the kindest sense, you can tell when an adult has made content. You can tell by music choice, and this is more from a marketing perspective, but you can tell by the music that's chosen, by the caption that sounds corny and cheesy, and you can always just tell, especially when there's like text over something that doesn't look accessible. So when you follow the pattern of what is trending and what is normal in teen social media, and you give that to an organization like this, it is 1,000 times more helpful in reaching the audience you're intending to reach.
I just love it.
Sometimes when we pump out content that is accidentally not catered in the way that it's supposed to be, it's really easy to learn from that and especially see the changes in engagement that we get when we're using one style versus another. So yeah, it comes from my friends, my community, and overall just trying to be casual. When you bring that casualty to an organization like this, and especially in social media, it takes the pressure off creating something, creating a persona or an image that's artificial.
Brilliant.
Raw, authentic, real.
But when you talk about it, even though there's a method to sort of thinking about reaching, you're doing it in this incredibly genuine, authentic way. And so the results show for themselves because you're not creating a cloud. You're creating something that is accessible for people, and you're doing it in a way that is low pressure. And I just love that. I see marketing in your future. Like you're on it.
That's what I'm studying in college.
Oh, it is. You better be.
That's my major, yeah.
It's amazing.
You better be, because you get it in a way that is like, it's so, Jane, you're in this field, or, you studied this way more than I did,
Totally.
or even get close to, but you are just, when you go after authenticness for the sake of truly wanting to be helpful and authentic, it shifts the mindset and the thinking from, I got to do this, it's got to be big, it's got to be this, to like what it should be, which is inviting, engaging, and
Yeah.
helpful, and something that people want to use. And that is your orientation. And I just I'm glad you're going to go into that field because you're great. Clearly, you're great. I just love it.
She is. She's amazing. These kids blow my mind. I also wanted to bring up that we also have a mood classroom program,
Great. Tell me.
and it's so unique. It's 15-minute lessons. We have 20 of them.
Perfect.
They are no training necessary, and they are meant to be part of a class meeting, a morning meeting. We have a teacher who is obsessed with the program. She's now adapted Mood Monday. And every Monday, her kids are like so excited. They start the day. And the lessons have there's a minute music animation
Love it.
that focuses on the tool. And we use these fabulous animators overseas in London, and we have singer-songwriters from Nashville who wrote these really phenomenal tunes. So the classroom program is also just another way to reach kids. So we're really looking for ways in that we can reach kids in all the places that they live and work and socialize.
I love that, because it should be taught in every school. So you found a way to do that in a very short period of time. It doesn't take up a huge amount of time.
Yes, it's a tough nut to crack.
Mm-hmm.
Schools are a tough nut to crack, but at this point, we are like, it's free.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd love to use it.
Mhm.
And we are getting the words out there as well as we can. And it all feels like, to us, we just want every teen and tween to have the Mood Tools app in their hand. That's our goal. And how do we do it? How do we give kids emotional regulation tools that in a minute or two helps?
Yeah,
And it helps in the moment.
I love it.
How long does the help last? We don't know. But if in an hour feeling dysregulated again, they go right to the Mood Tools app and they pick a different tool.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about the initiatives in the classroom, on social media, and we're starting to expand now to really try to reach parents.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a huge next step. And I have not given up on the idea of doing Mood Adult. It'll happen. It'll definitely happen.
I love it. I just love it. As you were talking, I was thinking it would be so great in social work schools, psych programs, where they could use this and learn it and be able to then adapt it in their clinical practice, or be able to, if they're going to be in a school setting as a school social worker, they could be your ticket into the classroom, because it would be a tool that they would recommend as a school social worker. So I would love to see that expanded in that way. And it's part of spreading it.
It's kind of endless.
I'm going to share with my colleagues at the social work school. Why not? It's great.
Please do. I mean, everybody could use these tools,
Mhm.
and it's just getting the word out. And it's lovely people like you who are interviewing us and spreading our message. And we're so grateful.
No, I think it's amazing. And I'm so excited that you started this. And you're doing society a service, as I said before, not just around boys, but around providers and teachers and for kids themselves, but also for everybody surrounding them. Because, so I have a clinical practice still in Massachusetts online, and I'm working with a couple, but sometimes they have little kids. And so it was really interesting I've been working with them for a while. One of the things that I talked about, and their kids are little, like 3 and 1, or, almost 2 and 4. And so I said, it could be really great to start deep breathing. It was because I do it in the classroom, right? Now I have this to say, think about this, because even a 3-year-old it might be 2 seconds of deep breathing, but what you're asking them to do is stop in the moment and take stock in what their body's doing. And little kids know, even the littlest kids know. So I think teaching this stuff at any age is so significant.
100%.
So I'm going to spread this as much as I can.
Please do.
So you talked about another, I know it wasn't Daisy's favorite, but the hand one.
Oh, hand sliding?
Yeah. Tell me about that one.
So hand sliding, it's just another general tool. This one can help with stress and anxiety and just sort of like getting those like heebie-jeebies, I would call it, out. But you want to put your hands together right at your chest, a sort of like prayer position, face them forward. And you want them just right here resting at your chest. And you are sliding back and forth from the tips of your palm. Your fingertips should be at the bottom of your palm, and back and forth. And the thing that's great about this is, depending on how anxious you are, you can be sliding incredibly fast and then slowing it down as you go. And the really important thing about this tool is you should be focusing on your breathing while you're doing it. So this one is just about changing your focus as well as getting yourself calm. So I use this in class because no one's going to like look at you while you're just like sliding your hands. Because like all of us fidget. I know all my friends are constantly messing with stuff.
Right.
So when I'm doing something and I feel myself getting overwhelmed and I'm able to just quickly slide my hands, I don't know what I would call it other than that, but it's really helpful.
I love it. The other thing I noticed is my focus goes to not just your breathing, but the tactile feeling of your fingers touching your skin.
Just going to say that.
And that almost is a calming experience, as if you were getting a hug, or as if someone were touching you. You're touching yourself rather than a hug where you're touching material. You're actually touching skin to skin. I love that.
1000%.
I think it's just brilliant.
That's a great observation. And a lot of our tools have that tactile, bring yourself back to yourself principle. And there's vibration and there's all sorts of things that factor into why that's a good one.
Yeah, I love it. So any other ones you want to share while I still have the two of you before we go into our quick and gutsy questions?
Sure. One of my other favorites we call doorway affirmations. So every time you walk through a door frame, and it turns out we walk through a lot of door frames every day, like something like 30 to like 150. It's crazy. But if you pay attention, every time you walk through a door, you give a positive affirmation.
I love it. Okay.
I'm gonna have a great day today. I'm doing the best I can. I love my mother. I mean, that should be in there.
That should be the first one. No,
I think so. I think so. Every time you walk through a door frame and you say something positive, you can train yourself. It's a practice. And you're like, stop for a second and you observe your surroundings and you say something positive. And listen, if you go through 4 and you forget it, when you go through the 5th, that's fine. Like there's no perfectionism here. We're just trying to plant seeds to build a practice of awareness and emotional regulation and feeling empowered. Empowerment is so important for this age group. And the age that we're really going for is 8 to 17 to 18, something like that. Middle school and high school. And it's about empowerment. It's about resilience. And it's about trying to feel better, and really try to feel better. That is what we want to do.
And I also think it's about agency. Like, I love that it's about, okay, I get to walk through a door and think about something positive about myself, about my day, about the outside, about whatever. I'm going to do an affirmation of, oh, I'm so happy it's sunny today. Or, maybe it's more self-directed.
No, it can be anything. It could be anything.
But it's taking you out of yourself. But it's that I get to own this. I'm accountable for it. And it's my choice. And all of those things when you're a teen, and sometimes, when you're an adult, Jane, those choices feel like they get taken out of our wheelhouse.
Especially because we spend so much time focusing on the negative.
Yes.
Sometimes like a small thing that shifts that narrative is really important.
Yeah.
I also really quickly wanted to add, when we were talking about younger kids, that younger children target, I think the really great thing about that is we have tools that are so specifically catered to that group, such as tools like bee breathing and lion breathing. And those really fun, creative names stick with kids who are super young. And those fun ways of making them think it's like a game or an activity or something they're doing that's not even like a tool. It's something that is fun for them. When you give them those tools like bee breathing, it's helping them to calm down in a way that they're not even aware
Yeah,
of.
it's a great point.
And I wanted to also add, because you asked about our final few tools, I just wanted to fit my second favorite, I should say.
Okay.
And it's one that we don't often even recognize as a tool, but that's why I think it's so important to highlight. And it's our get out in nature tool, or it kind of goes hand in hand with our get outside tool. And I think sometimes when I find myself bedrotting or watching a TV show all day and I feel gross and sticky and I'm sitting in those feelings that have been making me feel so exhausted and tired and sad and all those deep feelings I've been holding on to all day, as soon as I walk through my door and I take in a breath of fresh air and I look at all the wonderful life that I'm experiencing around me, I am immediately, and I tell you, immediately feeling better. And I'm taken out of that experience that I was stuck in all day.
Yeah.
So I think that our Get Out in Nature tool is definitely one of my favorites. And you can do it just by stepping outside, sitting on a chair. And, if you want to be on your phone outside, you can be. You can take whatever activity you need to outside. But I love to just grab my headphones and listen to some music or call a friend and go on a walk. Or I'm with a friend and we go on a walk. We go grab a treat. We go grab a sweet treat, as we like to say. And just getting out of the space you're stuffing yourself in is so important. And I think that that's a really easy one and accessible one to highlight.
Yeah, I love that because you really are, and again, this is all science-backed, which I love. When you're sitting in the same space all the time, it also reduces the ability to be creative, move forward, have action of any kind. So when you dislodge that, which is what you're suggesting, and there's so many different ways to do it, and it also, I think, forces us to be present in that moment. When you take that physical step outside, you are choosing, I'm going to be present in this moment outside, even if you have your phone, even if you have other tools that you might use. But I love that. And I do have to comment because I love this term and I'm going to use it. Bed rotting. I love that.
I know.
I love it. It's the new term. I'm learning so much on this stuff. I love it.
And I can tell you, me and my friends were professional bed rotters, so I can give you a tip or two if you'd like, but it's definitely important to use a tool like Get Out in Nature after you've been bed rotting all day and you're gross and you feel gross and everything is icky. It's just you step outside and life has changed.
So all my kids are in their 20s, some in their 30s, by the way. They're all downloading this app. I'm going to tell you right now.
Please tell them to give us 5 stars.
Oh, for sure. And also they're going to love it because this is stuff some of them do bits and pieces of, but I think this is so accessible. And I love your idea. So next time I meet with this couple, I'm going to give them your app and I'm going to ask them to look at the bee one, the lion breathing one for their littlest kids, because then I think it turns into something fun and not something laborious or unreachable or something where you have to do it this way or that way, which is never my MO anyway. But I love that this is renamed and you're repackaging. But I kind of want to push back on that, Jane. It's all evidence-based. I love what you're doing. It's more than repackaging. It's making it accessible in a new way. So I know you're not reinventing, but I have to just commend you because repackaging is taking the same thing and you're really, yes, reframing, but renewing or revamping, and you're making it really accessible and you're translating them.
We really transform them.
Well, she's giving herself less credit than credit is due. She is absolutely making a huge change and impact on these tools, especially the big change that's happening isn't actually the reformation of these tools. It's just providing them to people. And there's such a generational gap where I hear constantly, the one thing I hear from adults when they hear about this platform is, I wish I had had this. And the empowerment that my generation has, the younger generation and the new kids coming in, the empowerment we have around mental health is so important. And it's such a lost art and love form that the older generations were deprived of.
Yeah,
And I think
true.
Mood's mission, which is empowering teens to take care of their mental health, it's not only healing for them, but it's generational healing for the parents who are able to give this to their
I
kids.
love that you
Who are
said
able
that.
to take this and say, I want to use this app. I want these tools for not only my children, but myself. Because they're for everyone. And the empowerment of mental health is so important. And it was like a lost art for years. And now the comeback of it, which Jane is the steerer of, she is taking this head on, and she deserves a ton of credit, and she's not giving herself enough.
I agree. Oh, well,
It's a labor of love.
it's the passion that you bring to this, that you both do, but Jane, that you really do from situations that were painful, and you really talk about a reframe. It's moving forward. And I'm going to tell you, that stinking thinking, if I give this to my kids, do you know what they're always going to say to me? Stop stinking thinking, Mom. And I'm going to be like, you're right. I have to. That is like my favorite term.
I know. We also have recombobulation station, which we love.
I love it. It's like this defines me.
Especially because Daisy said discombobulated. So we have a tool, recombobulation station.
I love it.
Find a corner in your house, bring your journal, bring your water, bring snacks, get all the pillows, the blankets, the candles.
Yeah.
And find just a really, really comforting space.
It's become me and my best friend's like number one thing we do. Every time we want to watch a movie,
So
she'll
cute.
say like, let's make a recombobulation station.
How
We create a
great.
video together for Mood.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I just
love
love
it.
this.
I love it. And we have a music video on recombobulation station
I
that's
love
so
it.
great.
Love it, love it, love it. I mean, you've really thought of every angle of this in a beautiful way, including being able to adapt these tools, make them work for you, put music, do animation. And the animation is fun and accessible and not childish. It's, to me, it's inviting. I can't think of a better word.
But we're trying to keep it current.
Yeah, totally.
We're trying to keep it current and, again, not talk down to kids because they're so much smarter than we give them credit for.
They're smart.
And
I've learned a
so
lot.
it's try to be on their level as much as possible and say, here they are, and we hope you use them, and stay tuned because there's going to be a whole lot more on the Mood Tools app.
I just love it. It's great. Well, I'm going to spread it as much as I can, not just through this podcast, but I'm
Thank
actually going to give it to my students. I'm going to send it to my colleagues at the social work school, give it to my kids. And I'll say, this is from Jane. then they'll open it and download it. You know, it's from me. They may know, they might. So if you guys are ready for our round of quick and gutsy questions, they're just fun, and you can pass on the responses if you want to, but they're really fun. And usually we get a few pearls of wisdom when I ask these. So are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, you each get an answer. So what is at the top of your wish list for Mood? And however, the answer can't be money or funding, because most of the folks I work with are social enterprises or they're nonprofits. So I always say, take that out of the equation. What's at the top of your wish list for Mood? And you each get an answer.
The top of my wish list is that every tween and teen knows about the Mood Tools app and uses it whenever they need it. They don't need to use it every day, but I can't help it. That is my mission. I mean, every single person.
Yeah, it's a great mission. It's beautiful. Okay, Daisy, you're up.
My wish is just that more kids knew how not alone they are.
Great.
I think that we spend so much of our time feeling isolated, and Mood truly brings to light just such a powerful community. So my greatest wish is just that kids knew that they are not alone. I hope we are helping to provide that in any way possible.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, I wish that too. Both of those wishes are absolutely beautiful. So if you were to think of a song that describes Mood, what would it be? Or it could be a lyric.
I have mine off rip. I can tell it to you right away.
Great, I love it. It's usually the first thing that pops.
Lovely Day.
Oh,
I think that everything about Mood screams that song to me. It was such an impactful song in my childhood too. It's just the most nostalgic thing ever. And it's something you want to sing in the shower. It's something you want to blast in the car with your friends. It's something you want to play on the first day of summer or when the first snow
Love
falls,
it.
or when you're on a plane and you're about to take off, or when you're about to land. And it's just such, it's everything, and it's so mood. It so is.
It's so uplifting. I do too.
I love that. That could be our theme song. My mind went right to, of course, Beatles.
Oh,
All You Need Is Love.
yeah.
That's what came in because we are so in love with the idea of helping people and of them knowing, kids knowing that they're loved and how to access self-love.
Yeah.
And I just feel like so much comes from love.
It does. And you know, this may have been birthed out of passion, but I think it was birthed out of love and an open heart. And you know, it's funny because you and I didn't talk about this before, but in my intro, I commented on your open heart, and then you brought it up in the episode, or actually, I think Daisy did, about you. And I thought, wow, there's some kind of karma going around. So I love that you said that because, yeah, I think it is. This was birthed out of love, out of absolute love. And it will grow out of love, too,
I hope so.
which is great. I won't get too emotional here. Okay. What makes mood gutsy? Because you're gutsy and you're on Small and Gutsy. Hopefully not small for long, but you are gutsy. What makes you gutsy?
What makes mood gutsy is, I think, getting kids to talk about their real, authentic selves.
Yeah.
And giving a portal, giving a space for that to happen that is safe and nurturing and just feels gutsy. It doesn't feel like it's being done enough. And I feel like we're really trying to push the envelope on kids talking their truth.
Yeah, I think that's great. Daisy, what about you?
I would definitely say something very similar. I think that I was talking a bit about this earlier, but empowering people to reclaim and reinvent their mental health and personalize it, that is absolutely brave. And especially in, which is another point I made earlier, a world of negativity on social media.
Yeah.
To have created or attempt to create a space so safe and powerful and authentic, that is gutsy.
It is gutsy.
I would add the word positive, you know.
Positive, for sure. But also, it's not just positive. It's raw and real and emotional. And I think that that's the gutsy part. It's not just a buff of rainbows and sunshine and clouds.
Right.
Like, real things are happening to real people, and it's important that we share it to eliminate that isolation that I was saying I wish no one experienced. When we come together and create a community such as this, we take away that isolation that's created through such a non-vulnerable social media and artificial BS social media.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
I know it's kind of the anti-social media. It's kind of the anti-social media social media.
Right. I love that. I think that's a great tag too. I think that's great. I also, and I'm not allowed to have an answer, but I'm going to anyway. I think every user and adopter of this mood app and the tools is gutsy because they're willing to be vulnerable, whether it's quietly alone or in a group or, you know, willing to share on the platform. I think that the more we can do that, the more honest of a society we'll have, because we'll be more tolerant and accepting, knowing that things are imperfect and that we can weather that storm. So hats off to you guys. Really, I can't wait to share it. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much.
My privilege, actually. What is something that outsiders or even a few insiders don't know about mood?
I would say that some outsiders don't know about the science behind it. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Fair enough.
But for me, it's important that these are proven and they're real and they're effective. And not everybody needs to know that. Not everybody does. But when we create these tools, it's important to me.
Yeah, I love that. Daisy, what about you?
I definitely agree with Jade. I want to stress that point again. But I also think that it's, and obviously this is coming from me, so it's a little biased, but the 14s by teens strategy, that is something that I don't think all outsiders might know, or it might not come off that way, but I truly hope that shines through because it's authentic and it resonates with me. So yeah, that 14s by team strategy, I wish that everyone knew that, because it's like when you're given something by an adult, you don't necessarily know that it's there for you.
I love that.
But when it's created or given to you by someone I don't know, who assimilates to you, I would say that that's important.
Yeah, it's a great connector. It's a huge connector for people, again, because teenagers are going to naturally connect with other teens and trust that when it's genuine. And that's what comes through, which is wonderful. So this, even though we've talked about all the negative stuff about social media, I always have this question. If you could get one celebrity, sorry about that, or influencer to talk about mood, who might that be? And it could be anyone. It doesn't have to be, an influencer in various spaces. So it doesn't have to be like a typical celebrity.
For me, it would be Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she's great. That would be amazing. I'm glad you said that.
She would change the world. Yeah. She could change the world of mental health with one sentence.
Yep.
And she's the target audience.
Yep.
She's got the demographic.
Yep.
She's lovely. She's approachable. She's vulnerable.
She's genuine. She's real. Her music.
For me, it's like just a slam dunk.
Yeah. So I think you need to reach out to her because
we're working on it.
Good. I love
We're working
that
on it.
so
If you're
much.
listening,
Yeah.
if you're listening,
we're
Taylor.
we're gonna hashtag her. I don't know if she's got a lot of coverage, but I do think that when she talks about her songwriting, she does exactly what you're doing.
She does.
It's cathartic for her and it's genuine and it's real. And sometimes the backlash that people had given her previously is because they can't handle the vulnerability.
Yeah.
So you're breaking that wide open and that's just amazing, So Daisy, your turn.
Is it okay if I name two people?
Yes, this is yours.
Okay.
Yes.
So first, Mr. Beast, who I don't personally watch him or engage with his content, but he is able to reach so many young men.
I know.
Which I think is a big part of who we're trying to reach. Trying to be more comfortable with such a topic and such an app using such tools. So if someone like him, who is so widespread, was able to talk about this or promote this, I think that would be utterly ideal. And I was also thinking Selena Gomez.
I knew you were going to say
It's amazing. Yeah.
Who's been completely open about her mental health journey.
Great choice.
I think that's incredible. The losses she's grieved and the things she's talked about and the
body shaming.
Yeah, all of it. I think that would be such a dream come true. And also maybe getting a rapper like someone like Lil Yachty or like Tyler, the Creator, to come on and talk about it would make it so that the persona that they've invented, the hard, strong, hyper-masculine, patriarchal identity that they've assumed, to break that down by saying, you know what, I go to bed by using mood tools, you know?
That'd be cool.
I think that'd be so fun and so accessible.
You know, it allows folks to have a human side. And so I love all of those choices. And I love the fact that you really want to help boys feel connected, even through a pathway or a doorway that's maybe perceived more as masculine. So I love that because you're, again, going back to what Jane, I think you said earlier, you're meeting kids where they're at and you have to, because it's the only way to invite them in and have them stay. And that's what you're doing. So I love this. Any last comments or thoughts that you want to share?
Yeah, I just really quickly wanted to say, as much as we've been bashing social media, clearly we would not be using it if it were not one of the most powerful and open spaces possible. So I wanted to correct myself if I've come off at any point as I'm stuffing social media into a box, because the opportunities that it brings is absolutely incredible. So I just really quickly wanted to say that, because I don't want anyone thinking it's just some big evil thing. It's
As with everything, it's nuanced.
Yeah, right. And I love what you said, because social media has its place. It's when we get overwhelmed by it or do comparisons, or when there's bad information out there. And so the fact that you've approached this with evidence-based and that it's accessible and it's adaptable to individuals and what their needs are already bypasses sort of the negative of social media. And I use social media. I think it's great because it's free, it's accessible, and people can find you.
Yeah, it really is. And for good or bad, better or worse, it's where kids are and it's what they're using.
Yeah.
So we are adapting and we're moving with wherever kids go, we'll find you.
Yeah.
And we'll find your parents.
Yeah.
And hopefully provide you with really easy, fun, accessible mood tools.
Just love it.
And thank you so much, Laura.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh my God. I want to, first, before I do my thank yous of the two of you, and this was such a wonderful conversation. How do people reach you? How do they get the app? How do they find you? What's your website? Do the whole 9 yards.
So our website is mood.org. And on that website, our mood tools are the description and the free lessons at the classroom. You can download the app for free right there, or go to your app store and it's the Mood Tools and download it for free. Tell all your friends. And on social, it's at the Mood Tools.
And I just want to add one thing, because I did download it. And for all of you older folks in the world, it does ask for your age. So I texted Jane, is it okay that I put my real age in here? Are they going to allow me to go on it? I just had to say that. She's like, yeah, it's for like providers.
Unlike other apps, we're fine with putting your real age.
Right. And so I was so happy, because I was like, this is useful stuff for me. As I said, the stinking thinking is part of my repertoire now. But I put my age in, it comes up. It's really easy to use. I already looked at some of them. I love the box breathing. I mean, there's a bunch of different ones, and you gave me a few others, which I just love.
And there's 50 more.
So go on it. For anyone who's listening, download it. I love it. I can't wait to explore more. And also, I encourage folks to get on your Instagram to watch the videos. I feel like the kids who are on it have this beautiful, genuine quality about what they share. And it's very moving, and it's also very instructive. As Jane and I both said, we learn from our children all the time. Now I'm learning from younger children who aren't mine, and I'm really happy about that. So I just want to take a moment and thank you both for spending so much time with me and sharing both your stories, your vulnerabilities, your passion, and your deep love for the work that you're both doing. It's beautiful.
Thanks so much, Laura. It's just such a pleasure to be here. I'm so proud of what you're doing and what you've done. And this is fun, you know? This is fun. This is trying to do good in the world and have social impact and have some fun.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is such an incredible opportunity, especially, and I get to yap on about something that's so important to me and I know is so important to Jane. Thank you so much for everything. This platform has been utterly amazing and so open and so honest. And yeah, thank you for this space.
Oh my God. I am so excited, Daisy, to see your future in the world of marketing for good, because that's what you do. It's amazing.
She's going to run the world, this one. This one is going to run the world.
Please go to smallandgutsy.org to check out all of our episodes. And if you're so inclined, please purchase some Small and Gutsy merchandise, consider sponsoring an episode, or making a donation. Both are tax deductible and help keep us going and spotlighting these great organizations. The opinions and viewpoints expressed by our guests are independent and don't reflect the position or views of Small and Gutsy. Of course, we can't take responsibility outside of our own vetting of the organizations we interview, so before you sign on to support or work for them, we encourage you to do your own due diligence and research them as well. I want to thank my partners in this endeavor, the Intrinsic Group, the donors, the sponsors, and my incredible board of directors, Brianna Carmichael, John Gatto, Lucy Mello, Ari McCoy, Melissa Greitz, and Serena Rajabian, who believed in me in this project enough so to sign on to support this effort, and all the folks, friends, and family who have guided and inspired me. And thank you for listening. Together, we are spreading social impact, and you can help us. If you like this podcast, please share it with your friends. And don't forget to email me the name of any organization you feel would benefit from being interviewed. From small and gutsy to big with impact. I'm Dr. Laura Shirk-Witkoff, and thanks for listening.